long are you guys gonna hold on to Chris Brown and beating Rihanna? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most involved with, and that was Sean Carter.
I get very embarrassed. I feel humiliated. Every time I see it, the whole thing plays back in my head.
It seems like a lot of big names in the music industry could be in trouble soon, especially after Diddy faced lawsuits recently. Actually, it looks like Chris Brown might have implicated Jay-Z in this whole situation. So, what exactly is going on? On a recent episode of his podcast, Collect Call, the incarcerated music exec discussed the differences in how the two are treated and perceived based on their respective pasts of AB and assault of women. You can have a man that's part of that secret society and they gonna give him an award. The Impact Award, Suge said. That beat up more than anybody. This man gets an award for being up women. Chris Brown is stripped of his crown and not saying it was right that him and Rihanna got into it and they had a fight or he beat her up. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is this. He had a fight with one woman or he beat up one woman, and they still casting stones at him. Knight continued. They don't give him his cigar, they don't let him come perform, they don't let him pretty much win awards. But you can have an Impact Award with Andre, referencing the Grammy Award. Global Impact Award, named after Dr. Jay-Z, was this year's recipient of the award. Suge's comparison of Dre and Brown follows the R&B singer's claims that he was uninvited from playing in the 2024 NBA All-Star Celebrity Game. I was asked by the NBA to play in the All-Star Game this year, only for them to call later and say they couldn't do it because of their sponsors like Ruffles, Brown wrote on Instagram. At this point, I'm sick of people bothering me, and I'm tired of living in the past. I posted the email so y'all could see. The NBA still was trying to get me to come and sit courtside, not happening. I only go where I'm appreciated, he wrote in another post. Now, word on the street is that Jay-Z could be responsible for the alleged blackballing of Brown.
Rihanna's like Jay-Z's daughter, sister, whatever the case may be. They're very close. And I think that's something that Jay-Z, it's a vendetta that Jay-Z held all these years.
In any case, there have been rumors circulating for the longest time claiming that Rihanna and Jay-Z were secretly having an affair, and CB knew about it. You see, back in 2009, Chris Brown pleaded guilty to assaulting Rihanna and claimed that she gave him herpes, and this story goes very deep and very far. According to Brown's $10 million pro se complaint, Rihanna was the one who gave him herpes, and when he to sue her for not informing him about her condition, she allegedly attacked herself to make it look like he was the one who assaulted her. He claimed that the Umbrella singer then turned around and blamed him for it all as a form of punishment. But that's not all. The lawsuit claimed that Rihanna even to take matters to a new extreme if Brown sued her. The plaintiff stated that he was scared but could no longer take it anymore. He woke up one morning with 3 blisters on his wiener, making him concerned about his health and the risk of infecting others. The man claimed that he was planning to propose to Rihanna and even wrote the song Don't Wake Me Up for her, but then their relationship was ruined. He accused the Barbadian singer of sabotaging his relationships with other women by giving him a case of herpes from Barbados, which is most likely lethal. Brown's lawsuit also stated that Rihanna's lies and bias cost him millions of dollars in endorsements and job opportunities. Rihanna also allegedly gave herpes to another man, according to a model that once worked with her.
Everyone thought that I was the one my boss, and in all reality, and so just literally got to the point where it came out that she got him sick.
But if Rihanna did give Chris Brown herpes, who gave it to her? Well, according to Jaguar Wright, it was none other than Jay-Z.
It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most involved with, and that was Sean Carter.
Jay-Z allegedly cheated on Beyonce with so many women that there's a good chance he ended up getting herpes and giving it to Rihanna. Chris Brown's allegations that Rihanna gave him herpes would also line up with around the time that Rihanna and Jay-Z were allegedly romantically involved. Rihanna was just a 15-year-old singer trying to make it big in the music industry before she became the fierce businesswoman worth a whopping $600 million. According to Forbes, she was discovered by none other than record producer Evan Rogers while vacationing in Barbados. And boy, was he blown away by her supermodel neck, green eyes, capri pants, and matching sneakers. If that girl can sing, then holy he exclaimed. Fast forward to December 2004, and Riri's first single, Pon de Replay, was recorded and sent off to various record labels, including Def Jam. And guess whose hands it landed on? None other than the president of Def Jam himself, Jay-Z. There are allegations that Jay-Z may have wanted Rihanna during her early years in the music industry. Some sources claim that he was known for his playboy ways and for getting involved with younger women, and Rihanna was no exception. He allegedly took her under his wing and helped shape her career, but some speculate that he may have had other motives. Jay-Z was so determined to sign the budding starlet that he reportedly aggressively said, "There's only two ways out the door if she signed the contract, or through this window if she didn't." Clearly, Rihanna had to close the door and signed with Def Jam that same night, starting her journey as one of the most iconic pop stars of our time. Under Jay-Z's guidance, Rihanna went on to create hit after hit, including chart toppers like Umbrella, Run This Town, and Talk That Talk. The two even collaborated on a few of her biggest tracks, cementing their mentor-mentee relationship. But Rihanna didn't stop at just music. She followed in Jay-Z's footsteps by transitioning into the business world, launching successful ventures like Fenty Beauty, Fenty Skin, Savage X Fenty, and various fragrance and fashion lines. In a 2019 interview, Rihanna shared that her career is her purpose, and that it should never feel like anything other than a happy place. We all know that the pair have had a long and close relationship over the years, with Jay serving as Rihanna's mentor and boss, as well as a collaborator on some of her biggest hits. But here's the question that everyone's dying to know. Has their relationship ever gone beyond the professional? According to celebrity biographer J. Randy Taraborelli, the answer is a resounding yes. In his tell-all book, Becoming Beyoncé: The Untold Story, Taraborelli claims that Jay and Rihanna were romantically involved back in 2005, while Jay was promoting Rihanna's debut single, Pon de Replay. The author alleges that Beyoncé was so uncomfortable with the situation that she and Jay even split up for a year. But hold on a minute, because Rihanna's former publicist, Jonathan Hay, has a very different story to tell. In a shocking confession, Hay revealed that he actually made up the rumor about Jay and Rihanna dating as a publicity stunt to help boost the rising star's profile. "I didn't think it would be this big story," Hay admitted to the New York Daily News. "I'm ashamed that I'm even talking about this. I just want to put this rumor to rest once and for all." In a candid interview with The Guardian, Rihanna revealed that rumors were the bane of her existence when she first signed with Def Jam. The worst part? The rumors that she and Queen Bey were beefing. At first it was funny, then it was frustrating, because it got really intense where people just weren't letting up, Rihanna lamented. In any case, Chris Brown has also been exposing Diddy's shady ways. For context, sometime in June 2022, right after Chris Brown dropped his highly anticipated album, Breezy, the singer from Virginia, appeared on the show Drink Champs. He not only spilled the beans about his then upcoming album, but also revealed some surprising stories about his early days in the music business, stories that have some unusual ties to the music mogul, Sean Diddy Combs. The singer behind Iffy spoke about how he almost signed with Bad Boy, Diddy's record label, but in an unexpected twist of fate, Diddy turned him down. Of course, seeing as Breezy is easily one of the most successful singers from the last decade and more, you're probably wondering how he could have been turned down by anyone, let alone Diddy. Turns out the mogul and at the time talent scout might have wanted inappropriate relations with Chris Brown. But it doesn't get incredibly messed up till you find out that Brown was actually only 12 years old then. I'ma keep it 100. So I was like 12 at this time. This was before I linked to Def Jam. It was me and one of my production manager's son named TJ. He's my brother to this day. Me and him were like a group, Brown explained.
Funniest part, like, a lot of people don't know, Diddy turned me down. I was 12 years old.
When he added that the group was nameless, Drink Champs host Noor teased, "This is why he didn't sign y'all." Though omitting any further specific details, Noor added, "If you danced, he definitely would have signed you." Now, in addition to this, CB revealed that the record executive has all along been using his immediate ex-girlfriend Young Miami to bring straight men to him. In short, Miami was merely a bait used to bring men to Diddy so that he could satisfy his S appetite. And Brown is not alone in his claims. Legendary hip-hop commentator Academics went hard on Young Miami for an alleged pimping job.
Bad. So I'm gonna call you Love for this question.
Okay. Call me Love.
Love. stuff.
Thanks to her work in The City Girls, on her Caresha Please podcast, and more recently as a supporting actress, Young Miami has amassed an impressive fan base throughout her career so far. But on the 30th of May, DJ Academics reminded us that he's not a member of the Rap Divas Club of supporters. In fact, he said some hateful things about her during a live stream, which is now making rounds online. In one clip, the media personality discredits Miami's entire resume, declaring that she's a one-trick pony, and the only thing up her sleeve is pimping men. So, by pimping men, does he mean helping Diddy pimp men?
Young Miami, who recently did an interview basically saying she was tired of sharing a man. You know, I keep telling you, Young Miami is, to me, a clown.
Young Miami, who recently did an interview saying she was tired of sharing a man. Academics began his rant. I keep telling you Young Miami is, to me, a clown. She is not talented to do anything else. The only acting talent is to be like, yo, I'm pimping these dudes out. He continued to slam the mother of two. Afterward, he accused Caresha of crying after talking about her love life in the media. Now, we all know that Diddy's got more cash than we can count, and boy does he love to splurge on his extravagant and downright freaky parties. These cost millions and can have over 1,000 guests with strict dress codes. And while there's always an endless supply of drinks and substances, it's not just the excess that has rappers running for the hills. Nope, it's the downright bizarre and freaky things that go on at these parties that have people terrified. Rumor has it that Diddy likes to use these parties to act out his wildest fantasies, and he doesn't give two hoots about keeping it a secret. Sure, the parties are super exclusive and fancy, but what's the cost of attending? The thought of being forced to partake in Diddy's antics is enough to make anyone feel uneasy and uncomfortable. Diddy had a bodyguard named Gene Deal for a hot minute, and this dude was like Diddy's shadow. He went everywhere Diddy went, and even though Diddy was kind of coy about his in public, he didn't hold back around his trusty bodyguard. I mean, Gene was with him 24/7, so he was bound to know all of Diddy's business. Eventually, Gene got super close to Diddy, and they were practically BFFs. That might be why Diddy didn't feel the need to hide his biggest secret from Gene.
We was like friends. He was a part of the same gang, so I'm still gonna tease him. I'm still gonna mess with him and everything like that.
But here's the tea, folk. Gene ain't much of a secret keeper because now that he's not Diddy's bodyguard anymore, he's spilling all the juicy details about Diddy's darkest secrets. And it turns out, despite all the straight relationships and kids, Diddy likes to experiment with men. And one of these men is the up-and-coming rapper, Ja Rule. It looks like Gene ain't the best at keeping secrets because now that he's no longer Diddy's bodyguard, he's ready to spill all the juicy details about Diddy's deepest and darkest secrets. And let me tell you, folk, despite all his past relationships with women and being a father to many children, Diddy likes to experiment with men. And get this, one of his flings was with the up-and-coming rapper Ja Rule.
And then Puff looked at Ja Rule, he was like, and they went back in the room.
They even retired to a hotel room for several hours of the night, and you guessed it, Gene was right outside the door to witness everything. At one point, Ja Rule's cousin even came knocking on the door to retrieve him, but Ja Rule was too preoccupied with Diddy to care. And it gets even wilder, folk. When Ja Rule and Diddy finally emerged from the hotel room, they were wearing nothing but towels, and Ja Rule's cousin was quick to call them out on their freaky behavior behind closed doors.
You don't want to come up in there. A lot of freaky stuff is going on. You gotta use your mind. What they was doing with those.
It looks like Diddy's preferences might not be what they seem. Despite his public persona as a ladies' man, it seems that Diddy is actually quite fond of men. Now, he doesn't exactly shout it from the rooftop, but he's not exactly shy about his preferences when he's at private parties and events. In fact, one famous named Keefe D, who had connections with Hollywood rappers and artists, found himself at one of Will Smith's elite private Hollywood parties. And guess who he spotted acting like a couple? That's right, Diddy and Tupac.
Puff and Tupac was like a couple, seemed like to me. It was just a lot of weird going on.
Pac and Puff was like.
Even Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, confirmed that Diddy and Tupac were incredibly close when Pac was still alive. While they never officially admitted to being romantically involved, there were plenty of witnesses who can attest to the contrary. Despite his public persona as a straight womanizer, it turns out that Diddy is actually quite fond of men. In fact, he's been known to make advances on rappers who are decidedly not interested in his amorous intentions. And one rapper who has fallen victim to this is The Game. The Game has opened up on how Diddy traumatized him when the two got together a few years back. According to The Game, he rolled with Diddy for 2 years, but the Bad Boy Entertainment chief executive never took him to the studios to record a song. The Game even presented his demos to Diddy, but Diddy would just shut down the conversation and instead take The Game partying and clubbing.
I started kicking it with Diddy, right? I ran around with Diddy for 2 years, and this Diddy, we never went to the studio one time, but he was like, yo, you with your demo, you know, bad boy, but hey, Playboy, hey, here go a watch, Playboy, here go a chain, Playboy. I'm like, yo, we ever gonna rap?
The My Life rapper continued that Diddy would take him shopping and buy him expensive gifts, including Rolex watches and gold chains. Meanwhile, The Game continuously pressed Diddy to allow him enter a studio and do a song, but Diddy preferred traveling across the major cities in the country, chilling and shopping. They continued like this for about 2 years without ever recording a single song, which many fans found interesting. This was because rumors at the time suggested that The Game wanted to sign on to Bad Boy Entertainment, which is why he was always seen in the company of Diddy. Fans thought the duo would strike a dynamic partnership, given The Game was a sensational rapper and Diddy was a top producer. However, the fans' dreams never materialized, as Diddy apparently had other plans, which were far from recording music with The Game. Many people are not really bothered about Diddy's S, as they believe that he has the right to be whatever he wants to be. However, their main concern is Diddy appears to use his wealth and influence to take advantage of both men and women, as this fan points out. The issue is not with Diddy possibly being gay. It's the fact that there's been rumors for years that he uses his closeted S to take advantage of young men and women in the industry, promising things in exchange for S and favors. That is the issue. Another fan wrote, "One thing I don't wish for young boys is being exposed to S behavior, such a hindrance to the quality of their emotional and psychological development. Once that is compromised, they are in hell, and it is the hardest task to get them back." It is easy to see why fans would make that connection, because why would Diddy shower The Game with lots of gifts when it was obvious that all the young man wanted was to sign a deal with Bad Boy Entertainment? The Game was young and hungry for success, and he knew perfectly well that Diddy had what it took to make his dreams come true. Diddy apparently took advantage of his position to solicit S favors from him in exchange for parties and expensive gifts. For decades, rumors have been circulating that Diddy hosted all-men parties where young guys were and exposed to the homosexual lifestyle. Rapper Exhibit recalled such an incident back in 2009 when he sat with Foxhole Radio for an interview. According to the Get Your Walk On crooner, Diddy invited him and former video vixen Kareen Steffens to hang out at a club. When they got there, they made their way straight to the VIP section, but it was empty, so they went down to the main lobby to grab a few drinks. Meanwhile, Diddy took leave of them to go about his business. Exhibit and Karen Steffens took some seats and started bopping to some great music from the DJ. A few minutes later, Kareen Steffens points to one corner where Exhibit sees two dudes kissing. She then pointed to another corner where one dude was dancing. These scenes shocked Exhibit, as he wasn't prepared for that kind of surprise. He explained that he'd been to a bunch of clubs, but he's never mistakenly stepped into a club with that kind of activity. Fans who listened to that interview surmised that Diddy might have been trying to lure Exhibit into his bed. After all, why would he invite Exhibit to a club full of homosexuals? Mind you, Exhibit wasn't desperate for a contract then, as Diddy was just a friend he loved to hang out with. Thus, Diddy couldn't pressure him into doing things he didn't want to get into, which he'd regret later. Plus, Exhibit was already made and had some money he could rely on. Thus, Diddy apparently couldn't lure him into his bed with expensive gifts, which was starkly different from the situation that The Game found himself in. Interestingly, rumors have it that Exhibit and The Game were not the only prospects Diddy was trying to tempt into a homosexual relationship. Back in the day, the grapevine buzzed with allegations that Diddy and Usher had a thing going on between them, as they spent a lot of time together. At the time, the CEO of Bad Boy Entertainment had taken the young Usher under his wings and was him into a superstar. The two celebrities never admitted the rumors. However, a few years back, Diddy's mouth slipped during a live session with Kevin Hart, where he admitted to sleeping together with Usher.
Right here from day one, we used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how.
Realizing his mistake, the "I'll be missing you" crooner tried covering up his slip with the popular Boondocks phrase, "Pause, no homo." Kevin Hart, who was the host at the time, was shocked at what had just come out of Diddy's mouth and had to cover his face, trying to distance himself from the embarrassment. In a bid to cover up his mistake, Diddy made things worse by claiming that he and Usher used to wrestle on the bed over Frosted Flake. This half-hearted cover-up attempt made Kevin Hart burst out in laughter, calling Diddy's apparent mistake stupid. Diddy's face went red. However, the words had already fallen out of his mouth, and he'd give a leg and arm just to get them back. Within a few hours of the interview, the tabloids and gossip blogs spread spread the news like wildfire, with many of them indicating that Diddy had confirmed his Usher himself admitted that living with Diddy was wild and crazy, as the parties were unending. He claimed that he saw some things that were a bit obscene for a teenager.
I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty.
Usher met Diddy through music executive L.A. Reid, who recommended him to Diddy after he had witnessed the musical abilities of the then teenager. Reid flew Usher to New York to meet with P. Diddy for a brief meeting, but ended up staying there for a year. So impressed was Diddy with Usher's singing ability that he took him up and introduced him to the celebrity lifestyle, giving the then 14-year-old Usher a taste of what was to come. Usher had a tutor at home and also had the chance to meet big stars like Mary J. Blige, Faith Evans, Craig Mack, and Notorious Big. According to him, he was treated like the baby of the house, with everyone referring to him as Baby Boo. When asked whether Diddy was a disciplinarian, Usher responded in the negative, stating that Diddy allowed him to be a man, although he was just a boy. Diddy's house had no rules, so Usher could do as he pleased, but he was only given enough money to get him going. When the interviewer asked whether Usher would let any of his kids go live with Diddy, he responded, no, which was kind of curious. Fans who watched that interview wondered what Usher saw or went through at Diddy's house, which he didn't want his children to experience. Maybe the rumors were true that Diddy pressured Usher into a romantic relationship that probably traumatized him. Like the game, Diddy bought Usher expensive gifts and took him on several shopping sprees just to probably lure him into a depraved lifestyle. Maybe that's the reason why he won't let his kids go to Puffy's Flavor Camp, as they used to call it back in the day. Some fans believe that Diddy didn't only pressure Usher into a life, but introduced the singer to older women and a hyper lifestyle in a bid to lose his virginity. One such fan wrote, Diddy admitted to exposing Usher to older women, a hyper-S lifestyle, and trying to get him to lose his virginity when Usher was around 14-15. Lest I digress, I believe Usher's relations with women and his life might have been different had it not been for Mr. Love. So when Diddy probably failed at turning Usher into he concentrated his efforts on getting him to break his virginity. But that's not all. Diddy has also been accused of using YK Osiris as his boy toy in the past. YK Osiris is an up-and-coming hip-hop and R&B rapper-singer who got involved in rumors of being an American rapper, Diddy's boy toy. To anyone unfamiliar with the term boy toy, it is the term to describe a young man preferred by older men or women mainly for pleasure. The rumors regarding the two rappers dating started surfacing in early 2021 when they were allegedly vacationing together in Jamaica, and Diddy allegedly paid all the expenses for the young rapper. Another user on Lipstick Alley posted about the two singers dating and Osiris being Diddy's boy toy, since they heard rumors about Diddy's social circles involved in favors in the industry. Everyone thought the two were dating, but in August of the same year, Diddy's name got linked with Carisha, so the rumors died. However, the hosts of the Breakfast Club interview brought up the past rumors, and YK laughed it off, saying he did not care about the stories. In any case, with all the rumors flying around about his antics, it is becoming clearer by the day that Jay-Z and his fellow music industry elite, Diddy, might have actually been doing more harm than good to the music industry for all these years. Anyway, that's it for this video, folks. Bye.